G'day there. Welcome to the closing bell on the 7th of August. And look, I've got to say, I had to search through a lot of charts to come up with something interesting to chat about this week, because the markets are continuing to do what they've been doing for the last few months. The things that are rallying are continuing to rally. We know the suspects, lithium, rare earth, nickel, etc. It's the same story there. And other than that, a lot of the mid-cap, small-cap space, not much going on. A few things shooting all over the place, a few biotechs looking all right, but really there's not a heap to talk about. So I just thought this week I'd chat about something I have talked about before. It's what I see as a widening divergence between where the oil and gas markets are moving and what the oil and gas stocks are doing here. They're really in the doldrums. And I think there's a few factors at play there. There's a lot of climate change risk, I guess, that people are adjusting to. A lot of pressure, I think, on some investors to sell out of some of these stocks. But I think it's possibly setting up a pretty good long-term opportunity for those that are willing to go against the crowd and think about how these markets are performing and probably will perform in future. So what I want to start with is a chart of the Japan-Korea futures, Platts futures, which is really the LNG out of Asia, a bit of a proxy for the price of LNG. And it has been going gangbusters in the last few months and really is just taking off to the upside in a vertical move as we speak. So let's have a look at this. Since really the start of the year, it's moved from around $6 to its current price on its highs around 17 and going vertical. So when I show you this and the oil price, and you consider a company like Woodside Petroleum, one of the biggest exporters in the world of LNG, really you're starting to scratch your head when you see their stock price and what it's doing. So we've got that flying to the upside, and I'll just flick over to the oil price, and you can see here oil prices, since the start of the year. Again, it's a similar story to LNG. Vertical move to the upside, moving from $40 to 80, nearly 100% move to the upside in oil. And when you then transfer over to the chart for Woodside, what do we see? The move since the start of the year, which is here, has been nothing but down. So I've been watching this unfold, and it is actually a part of the pivot trader portfolio. And I am just wondering, at what point does this gap close? And I am thinking that at some point soon, we're going to see a bit of a reversal to the upside in Woodside, especially if oil prices continue to rally and that gas price continues to go vertical. It's going to be hard to discount, but we do have some big things coming up for Woodside. For example, we've got the thoughts that BHP might be selling their oil and gas assets and Woodside might be picking them up. So I guess you've got a huge increase in shares, because I think they're going to pay for it all in scrip. And who knows whether there's some funny buggers going on with people selling down Woodside shares to increase the percentage share that they would get for the BHP shareholders. You never know what's going on around huge corporate transactions. I've seen lots of strange movements in share prices over the years as we head into huge corporate transactions. So that could be part of the game going on here. But really, when I look at this Woodside share price, and I see it at a level that is really the lowest price in a decade or more. If we go really long term and see this move, I mean, it's been a terrible journey for Woodside shareholders, and perhaps some long-term shareholders are just sick of it and are looking at the long-term future for oil and gas and thinking it's time to cut their losses and run. But with oil prices up 100% and gas prices flying to the upside, and potentially the chance that they could pick up BHP's oil and gas assets on the cheap if they're dumping them without many buyers around, and oil prices potentially going to break out to the upside above $80 and head towards 100. There's a story brewing here, which I think is potentially a great long-term investment. But I guess it's whether you're interested in moving into that space. I think it is a weird bit of divergence that's going on, and maybe we'll find a bit more about it as time goes on, about why this move is taking place, with these oil and gas stocks really not lifting their head at all, even though oil prices and gas prices are flying. But it's something to watch. And when these divergences open up, it can sometimes give you a great opportunity. So that's really all I had to discuss this week. If you want to check out what I'm up to, click on the links below the video. And otherwise, turn up next week and I'll come back with more. All right, cheers.